Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to Coach's Corner East on this Wednesday evening, 9th of September. We are at the Pizza Hut in Galion, heading into, believe it or not, week 4 already of the high school football season, and we will be talking all football again this evening. Show is brought to you in part by Steve and Chuck Keller at Keller Auto Parts, your Napa dealer uptown Galion and Crestline. Marie Mounts at the Platinum Insurance Agency, your Progressive agent, 131 Harding Way East, uptown Galion, and Joe Klein and Associates at the Galion office of First Federal Bank of Ohio. Coming up a little later in the show, it will be Johnny King and the Crestline Bulldogs. Had a week off due to COVID last week, so there was no game for the Bulldogs. They're getting ready for the Ridgemont Golden Gophers coming up this week. Prior to that, it'll be Ryan Teglovic and the Colonel Crawford Eagles going 3-0 in the non-league schedule and getting ready for a big game at Cary to open up Northern 10 conference play. And as always, we'll kick it off with the Galion Tigers coming off a big win as well, getting ready for MOAC play with River Valley coming up at Unkrich Stadium this weekend. Show's brought to you in part by the Burkhart family at the Burkhart Farm Center, your Case IH dealer, straight west of Galion on the Manette New Winchester Road. Mike Kleinite at Ag Credit Residential Lending, Bucyrus, Mount Gilead, and Marion, and sweet baby Ray Jones, Davey's little brother, at Ohio Door and Sash, 120 South Street in Galion. And I welcome to the show the Galion Tigers and head coach Matt Dick. And coach, thanks for coming out tonight. Week 3 in the books, you come away with a victory over former NOL foe Upper Sandusky, 31-0. You lead 10-0 at half and put the game away in the fourth quarter with 3 touchdowns. What were you thinking at halftime, and what changed in the second half to really get that momentum and secure the shutout? You know, I was talking to Sam here before you came in. He said, our defense playing really well right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Our defense, and we had some special teams, a punt return that played well. We're doing some really good stuff on both special teams and defense, but offense, making it click. We had a really nice drive where we ate up the whole first quarter. In the first half, I thought that was huge for us. Second half, we just come out slow. I think it's because we're doing a lot of different things, and we got to just find out what works. And when it started to click, we had a little momentum from special teams and defense, and then boom, it was over. It was nice to see us close out a game, but we still, that offensive consistency, that's what we're working for. And we have a sophomore quarterback, we have a senior quarterback that do a lot of different things, so mixing those together, it's just a process, but I really think it comes down to our O-line being consistent, whether it's pass or run. If they can consistently do their job, it's very, very easy to call an offense. If they struggle, it's hard to call an offense.
Cooper Kent to Landon Campbell for a 5-yard touchdown pass, and then a 30-yard field goal by Jackson Hart was the scoring in the first half. And then you think about, you got a guy like Dominic Pickman that kicked so many great years for you, and then you pick right up and have a guy like Jackson Hart. What a weapon, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For some reason, we're the land of kickers right now. I've had 2 first-team All-Ohio kickers, Connor Morton and then Dom Pittman, and Jack Hart's doing a nice job. And to be honest with you, Landon Campbell, he kicked a 40-yard field goal the other day in practice just for fun. So we have some kickers on the team, there's no doubt.
Hanif Donaldson's 71-yard punt return, you talked about that with 7:04 left in the fourth, and then Sam Wegesin, who's right across from me, a 13-yard touchdown run with 4:25, and then Carson Frankhouse, a pick 6 just shortly after that at 4:13, 55-yard, closed out the scoring. At what point could you kind of tell, and I could, the guys can tell me, they were out there, they know better, that you started to see Upper say, this is going downhill fast?
Yeah, it happened really, really fast. That punt return was quick, and then interception was quick, and then just boom. And then we tried to rotate some players, some young guys in, because all of a sudden we're up by 30. And it was hard as a staff, and it was hard as guys. But, we had a lot of fun. We had our student section packed the end zone. It was a great atmosphere, and our kids, really played hard for them.
We've talked about, and you mentioned it again tonight, the tweaking of the offense and trying to figure out what the identity is. You started Hanif Donaldson at quarterback early in the year. You've kind of transitioned to more of Cooper Kent. He gets the start. He's 8 of 13, 68 yards and a TD. Hanif Donaldson, 1 of 3 for 10 yards. But now using him as a weapon, Hanif, that is, 20 rushes, 125 yards. Cooper Kent, 41 yards. Sam Wegesin, 25 yards. Gabe Ivey, 9 yards. A lot of guys are getting involved, and that's part of that process of saying, who are we offensively?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think, as Cooper Kent develops, it's a lot easier to spread the ball around, and moving Hanif around, that's a real weapon that gives defensive coordinators a lot of issues. If he just lines up at quarterback or just at running back or just a receiver, I think that's pretty easy, but the more we can mix him, it really becomes something special, but it's pretty hard. And we've been working on it all week, and we got some different packages where he can bounce all around, and it'll be exciting to see when it finally does click.
As you've talked about early in the year, a couple of weeks ago, you were going to be a run-dominated offense, and that proved out again Friday night. 278 total yards, 200 of those on the ground, 78 through the air, but 3 turnovers and 11 penalties for 100 yards. The discipline upset you a little bit?
Yeah.
Lack of discipline?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes it's just guys trying to make a play. Other times it's linemen just, trying to finish that block, and it's really just not worth it. We've got on them a lot in practice this week, especially our O-line, about not holding, especially when we don't need it. I mean, they're just bad holding calls sometimes. And some of it, we're an aggressive style team, offense, defense. We are going to be aggressive. I think some of those penalties come with that, but we definitely could clean it up. There's definitely about 6 or 7 that we need to take away.
You had made a comment in the media, we have to get the offense to click right away, or excuse me, the right way. I thought there were bright spots, but still, we have some stuff to clean up. But defensively, you have to be happy about that, Coach. A shutout, number one, and you shut down the vaunted upper pass offense and really only gave up 84 yards total, 71 on the ground, with young guys. And we've talked about that week after week. Sam was talking to me about it before the show. How thrilled are you with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but some of our young guys they're just really remarkable young men. And I think that's where it starts. They got great parents, great families. They came, a really good product, and we are coaching them really, really hard, and they just respond, eat it up. And if you would watch like a Monday practice where we put in our first checks, it's pretty hilarious. They have no clue. They forget their name. It's amazing. But these same kids, they put in the time, they watch the film, they meet with Coach Ross, Coach Almer, Coach Tyrell, and by today, Wednesday, really, you could just see it's a total change. They motion the quads, they're yelling their check, and it's amazing how quick they grow. And I keep challenging them that we got to get more consistent and be able to execute at a fast level quicker. So it happened this week on Wednesday. Can we get it to happen on Tuesday next week? And sometimes it's the game plan. River Valley's offense, I think we had to have a pretty intense game plan defensively, especially with those DBs and outside linebackers. But they did pick it up nicely, and they're really fighting, and we play great defense. There's no doubt about it.
Did you get to get a JV game in on Saturday?
We did, yep.
Who did you play?
We played Pleasant.
Okay, and how'd that go?
I think it was close in the first half, and then we kind of fell apart down the stretch, I believe.
Okay, all right. Freshmen, have they had a game in yet?
Yeah, they played, who'd they get? They played Pleasant as well. Okay. Yeah, they were leading 8-0 in the first half, and again, kind of just wore out towards the end, and Pleasant got the win.
But you think about, especially defensively, you got some guys that would normally be playing JV that are playing varsity because that's where you need them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And those younger programs, that freshman and JV level, step one is to develop the guy that's like that one play away. Mm-hmm. If you're one play away, we got to get reps at that position on JV and freshman so that you're ready to play varsity. If that's the case, we're ready to play JV. So we have that balance, plus we try to win. So our younger coaches, Dalton Floor and Taylor Sable, have done a great job of rotating a lot of kids in and still trying to win, and at the same note, trying to develop kids, because that's what it's really about. And I think that's a hard thing for those freshmen and sophomores and even juniors that are on JV to learn. And it's no longer just about winning. It's about developing the fundamentals and the technique to be ready on Friday night. And our young coaches do a great job of that at that level. And our players, they are developing. I'm excited.
Yeah, nobody ever remembers freshman championships, right? Those kind of go by the wayside, freshman league championships. Our show is brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth and Brad Seibert at the Plymouth Insurance Group, Galion and Bucyrus, North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center, North Walnut Street, across from the courthouse in Bucyrus, and Phil and Sue Schreck at Phil's Deli, just east of the Pizza Hut at the bridge in Galion. Going around the table with the Galion football players that are here tonight, senior Sam Wegesin is up first, and thanks so much for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on 2-1. I'm sure you'd rather be 3-0, and you were close to that. For those that don't know, Sam is a very accomplished wrestling member of the team at Galion. Talk about the translation on the toughness that you have to have on the wrestling mat and how that translates to the football field, how that's made you a better overall athlete.
I think especially with linebacker, like the toughness you get from wrestling really helps because you have to be tough at linebacker. You got to be able to step up, fill holes, and be able to drop back and cover the pass.
As well as quickness. You have to be quick with your moves on the mat. You have to make quick decisions at a linebacker of what you're going to do. Has that helped you as well?
Yeah, definitely. Like you can't hesitate at linebacker if they're running at you. You got to go up and attack right away.
Mm-hmm. Got River Valley coming in, and I can remember at our first week when we were kind of previewing the season in general, and I said, who's kind of your biggest rival? And most of the guys that were here said it's River Valley. Why is that?
Because I think they always play hard, and like they're never going to go away. And like, I mean, there's probably some dirtiness in there, but that's probably why we hate them.
And you don't have to worry about because they're not even watching. They don't even know how to get on YouTube. No offense, but no, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great atmosphere. You've had great games over the year. They're 3-0, and they're going to be coming after you. And it's the first. Just talk about the difference of MOAC games as opposed to non-league games. The intensity. How much does it get ratcheted up?
Oh, it goes way up. It's like rivalry games in college.
Mm-hmm.
Like one team could be way better, but they're always going to give the other team a run for their money.
Yeah, very good. Well, good luck this weekend. Should be a great night, and as you say, hard hitting. I'll just leave it at that, right? Very good. Well, thanks for coming out. Mitchell Young's a senior. Hi, Mitchell. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Really well, thank you. Positions on the team this year?
Left tackle.
Left tackle, offense only.
Yeah.
So coach has talked about kind of a little funky right now. Do you see it now after the non-league schedule? Do you see it, maybe we're starting to mesh, it's starting to come a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. With practice, just always working hard and making sure we know our steps and our blocking assignments. Definitely.
Yeah, okay. So what's the next step? Where do you have to go from here? Where does it have to get better?
Well, we have to be able to adapt, like picking up blitzes and stuff and making sure we're gap sound and zone sound and knowing which guy we're supposed to block each play.
You've been stronger on the running side. That's kind of the identity right now. Do you prefer that, or do you like the pass block a little bit better?
I'm a little better at pass setting, but I think overall for our line, we're better at runs.
Yeah, so do what you need to.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing that you personally feel that you have to accomplish this week to beat River Valley?
I just need to play low and nasty, need to be quick off the ball, got to be ready for those blitzes, be able to pick them up.
All about pad level, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
All right, well, good luck this week. Thanks
Thank
for coming. Alex Griffith is here as well, a sophomore. Position on the team, Alex?
Left guard.
Left guard on offense only, of course. Have you gotten a lot of time as a sophomore?
Yeah.
You're starting?
Yes.
Okay.
Every down.
I'm sorry?
I play every down on offense.
Every down, okay. How has that been for you, coming in and getting all that time?
It's different. Like, it's a lot more fast paced than it was my freshman year, like on JV.
Yep.
You always have to pick up your blocks.
So compared to week 1 through week 3, has the game slowed down for you a little bit to the point where you're processing it a little bit better, or I kind of know what's coming now, I'm used to it now?
It's definitely slowed down. In the first week, I was scrambling to try and get my blocks.
I'm sure.
And now it's starting to come together, and I'm starting to see my guys and picking them up.
And settle down a little bit. As you're in the huddle, everything's starting to be a little more familiar with you, I would suspect. And who's ever next to you on each side, the center or the tackle, you guys are kind of meshing together, I would assume. Talk about that a little bit.
We have a bunch of young guys on the line, and we're starting to come together, form that brotherhood that you need at the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you play for each other.
Absolutely, very good. Well, good luck this week. It's going to be a tall task with a 3-0 team coming in, but it's home cooking. It's got to be nice to be home. Well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Kooper McCabe, Jr. Positions on the team, Cooper?
Really just running back. I don't play.
Running back. Okay. So you have to kind of like it because you're getting some touches in this run-happy offense, so to speak. Where do you have to take it to the next level? You know, if Hanif's not getting the ball, you're probably getting the ball. Where do you have to take it to the next level to maybe spell him a little bit and be an added weapon that the defense said, where'd this guy come from?
Hanif's usually known for his speed and elusiveness, and I don't got none of that.
So what do you have?
I'm strong. I'm forward.
So you're going to run over somebody as opposed to running around them?
Yeah.
So you're going to lay some punishment as opposed to maybe avoiding some contact.
Yeah.
So where Hanif is going to dodge, you're going to make that linebacker or that DB say, I'm not going after that guy again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So River Valley, we talked a little bit. Sam said he used a term, I won't repeat it. I mean, it was a clean term, but he said nasty. Is it going to be nasty with River Valley?
Oh yeah.
You've been through these wars.
Yeah.
What is it about them? Why is it them that just kind of act that way? I mean, it's just the way it is. You've built a nice rivalry, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look forward to it. Hit the people you need to hit cleanly, and just have a great game. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Carson Teynor, senior. Position on the team, Carson?
Receiver.
Receiver, okay. Anything on defense?
No.
Okay. Haven't thrown a lot, but you will throw some. So you're asked to block a lot downfield, correct?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
Let's not talk about last week. I missed a few.
Missed a few blocks?
Yeah, but pretty good so far.
Okay. You're not one of these guys that are holding when they shouldn't be holding, are you? Downfield? Bringing back some long plays or anything?
No, but I definitely did get burned on a couple last week.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be, let's see, third home game in a row.
Yep.
Let's see. So that would mean 2 out of your last 6 are going to be home. Does that bother you that you're getting so many home games out of the way early and then you're going to kind of be road warriors, or does it not matter to you?
It doesn't really matter to me, but home games are definitely a lot better with all the fans and everything there.
Yeah, for sure. So what do you feel, as you guys have gone through 3 days of practice, the keys to success for the Tigers this week to get a victory?
We're just going to have to come out hot on offense, and our defense is going to have to step up and knock a few of their studs down. And, I mean, that's really it.
Very good. Well, good luck to you. Enjoy the game. Should be a great evening.
Thank you.
Appreciate it for coming out tonight. We are brought to you in part by Steve Kurtzman and Associates at Innovative Recycling, 352 South Street in Galion. Also, Candy Bolin at Bolin Realty, 2 blocks west of the Uptown Galion Square. John Cross and Cross Carpet Custom Floors, 302 North Seltzer Street, downtown Crestline. And back to head coach Matt Dick. These guys seem ready. This is a good River Valley team that's coming in to your place, Unkrich Stadium at Heisey Park. 3-0, coached by Doug Green, who's been there quite a while. Defeated Highland last week 35-21. They're averaging a little over 27 points a game, giving up about 17 a game, and they're averaging 400 yards a game, mostly through the air. 266 through the air, 134 on the ground. What is it about their passing attack? Has it just been that's what they've taken advantage from other defenses, or that's really who they want to be?
Oh, they're definitely a passing team. They got a great receiver. He's probably the best receiver in our league, if not top 2 or 3. He was that last year, number 17. He makes tons of plays for him. And their quarterback, he's kind of like a Frank House type kid, maybe a little bit bigger, but he scrambles around and he makes plays, and you could do everything right and he could still hurt you. So between those 2 guys, and they got a slew of other receivers that do a nice job, but those 2 guys really make a whole offense, and it's fun to watch when you're watching film. What they do offensively is fun to watch. It's explosive.
So Caden Shadone, the quarterback that you mentioned, 40 of 57 passing. That's a 70% completion rate. That's pretty doggone good through 3 weeks. They're giving up an average of 318, so they do give up yards. The majority of those are coming on the ground, which helps you because you're more of a run-happy team. 387 yards on the ground in 2 games. I didn't have this last week's stats. But Shadone and Will Harrison are number 2 and 3 in scoring in the MOAC. So you look at this defense that's, for the most part, fairly young. This is probably going to be the toughest test they've seen all year. Are they ready for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We got a nice defensive scheme. We did a good job of putting together a game plan this week. Our kids are confident, our coaches are confident, and we're going to play good defense. That's what we do again. This is a good offense. They're going to make plays. I think the key is, on our offense, we can't get complacent. We might drive down and score. They don't care. They'll score in 10 seconds. You know what I mean? It may take us 10 minutes to score, and they'll come back and score in 2 plays. So we just have to be ready to ride that roller coaster and keep doing what we do. And if we focus on what we do, good things are going to happen. We're going to have to play great defense and be ready. If we give up one, it's the next play that matters. And offensively, we got to put drive after drive after drive. And it may be you're down 14 at a point, or you may be up 14 at a point, but you're never safe with their offense.
Well, guys, I don't have to tell you, you don't have to listen to a radio guy. You know it's MOAC time. Everything gets ratcheted up, everything gets notched up. The games get more intense, and there's a lot more on the line. Not that you don't want to win your non-league games, but it's go time now. So good luck this week. It's going to be a great atmosphere. You're going to be honoring veterans, which I think on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 is huge. Any veterans that want to go to the game, get in free with one guest, if I remember, and you're having a reception before the game. I think that's a great thing that you and the school are doing. So if you're a veteran, want to go out and see a great hard-hitting game, as Sam said, just enjoy that at Unkrich Stadium this week. You are the game of the week on WBCO. We'll look forward to being out there. Guys, thanks so much for coming out. Great luck this week. Have fun and enjoy the atmosphere. I appreciate it. In a moment, we'll be right back with the Colonel Crawford Eagles right after this.